How is this?
Welcome to the Ordinary Extraordinary Cemetery, where every death had a life and every life had a story. My name is Jenny Johnson,
Hello, and I'm Diane Hartshorn.
and we are super excited to have you with us today during our live performance. It's so cool.
Let me see. Yeah, because I had my YouTube on, and did you hear it echoing? So I shut it off.
Is that what that was? Okay. I heard
Yeah, that
myself for a
was
second and I was like, whoa,
no,
I
that was
sound two of me. So, welcome everybody who's joining us. It's going to probably take a few minutes for people to log on and join us. We're starting right at 6 o'clock here. So, just join us as you are. If you're watching us directly on YouTube through the link, you can join in on the chat on YouTube. You can ask us questions, whatever you want to say there. And I'm trying to keep an eye on that. And then if you'd like to join us on Zoom, there is a link available through our social media pages. So, our Facebook page, our Instagram account, and our X account. And you can join us there. I do want to give you guys a heads up that if you are joining us on Zoom, you will be on camera where everybody can see you, just like everybody
mhm.
can see Diane and myself right now. If that's something you're not comfortable with, we would suggest you just stick to the YouTube channel and just chat with us through the actual chat function there where you can type in what you want to say or what you want to ask. Um, so happy Halloween, though. We're going to start
Yeah,
with
happy
that.
Halloween. And of course, this is our first snow. There's always tradition. The first snow of winter or falls 9 times out of 10 on Halloween.
Or really close to it. So, yesterday, you had just asked me about the weather up here. It got really cold up here yesterday. We were under a freeze warning and it was chilly. And we got in the evening like a really good rain, which I wasn't complaining about. We actually needed it.
Yeah.
And Dave said he saw a few snowflakes. I didn't see any snowflakes, but it was cold yesterday. Well, I'll take that back. I took a coat in my car to go to work. I didn't actually wear the coat because I didn't want to cover up my outfit.
So you
Well,
don't catch pneumonia, so
maybe.
people will see your cute costume.
Well, for my actual day job this week, three of our four clinics are doing a spirit week. So we had some theme every day this week. Of course, today was Halloween, so we were dressed in our costumes. But yesterday was because it's Wednesday. On Wednesdays we wear pink, which was a struggle because I don't really have a lot of pink in winter and fall clothing. Like my pink
Oh,
is
yeah,
my
that's
spring and
true.
summer stuff. But I did find a cute
Yeah.
t-shirt that I could layer with my orange sweater and it worked fine. But I looked cute and I didn't want to cover it up with a coat.
Yeah,
It's
it did flake here for a bit, but not very long.
nothing
And thawed
stuck, huh?
and fold.
That's okay. It felt like fall. We haven't had very
Yes.
many days this fall that have felt like fall here. So,
Yeah. And we needed the moisture. We gotta I think it was 60% contained the other day, a fire um west of us. So
oh,
very happy for the snow. Snow
yeah.
rain, whatever it is.
Some kind of moisture, right? Coming out of the sky. So, one of the things we are super excited about, this has taken us a while to get together and to put it all together. And there's probably still some kinks we have to work out because I'm learning the whole how we sell stuff online and do all this online thing. Like, I shop online all the time, I don't sell stuff online. So, this is a new experience for me. Diane's a little more familiar with that territory than I am. But I think we said it last week's episode and maybe the week
Yep.
before that we now have a merch
Yeah,
line that we have come up with.
that's so
Uh,
cool.
and so here in just a little bit, I'll pull up what that looks like for everybody. But our shop for the clothing items, the mugs, all of that, that's all on Etsy. Our tea is not connected to Etsy. That's a different shop. Eventually, we will have this all connected together. Like I said, still figuring all this out, how to put all the links together, but we can do it. I just haven't gotten that far yet.
Well, and we can be adding the little sample tins to the Etsy
Yes.
shop because they're in
So,
stock.
and these are the sample tins that
Yeah.
Diane is talking about. I'll get a little closer to the camera here. So you can see it's got our logo on it. And this one is named Cemetery Story, which I love. And it's very good. I brewed a whole pot of it to get us through the next hour. Um, I would recommend if you're drinking this particular tea, because this one has hints of cinnamon, cocoa. I can't remember what else was in it. But I would recommend sweetening it when you brew it, because that brings out those flavors and makes it that much better. Like, you can drink it without sweetener, but I would, whatever sweetener you
It
prefer.
enhances.
Yeah. The honey, sugar, Splenda, whatever your preferred sweetener is, I would recommend doing it with this particular flavor. But we were also going to work on developing some additional flavors for some future stuff. So right now we just have this one available, Cemetery Story. And we will have, like Diane said, we will have these little cute little tins. These make about 5 cups though. I mean,
That's
really.
not bad, really. I mean, it's, you think of a sample, you're lucky if you get 1 or 2 little cups.
Yeah.
And we were able to blend and create. We were able to create the blend ourselves, which was sort of witchy. Our little
I know.
potion. We made our own little potion.
Which I think is really awesome for what we're doing. And they do, when you first open them, now this one, because this is my sample, if you can see, I've brewed quite a bit of it. That's probably 1 cup left in the bottom of that tin right now. But the fact that I got a whole pot out of it, and I just brewed it a little bit longer. And that is the other thing. If you order this, it is a loose leaf tea. So it doesn't come in tea bags. It comes in tins. If you order through our other link, you can get the bigger packages, the bigger things that's a little baggy, but it's all still loose leaf. So I thought about that because I know some people have never brewed loose leaf tea before. And so I was thinking about that. And we do at our house, because there's several of us who are tea drinkers in my house. So we have both tea bags and ways to brew your tea. So there's different ways you can do it if you've not ever brewed it. So if you have coffee filters, like regular coffee filters for like a Mr. Coffee maker, these paper bag ones, you can actually measure out about a tablespoon of tea. It's about 1 tablespoon per cup. So you would measure it out into this. You can like wrap it up and kind of tie it with not a zip tie, twisty tie. And you can dunk it in and leave it sitting in your teacup for 4 to 5 minutes and let it brew that way. And you get a tea. So it makes custom tea bag that way.
That's cool.
You can actually, if you want to get really fancy with these, I've done it before for gifts. You can fill whatever tea you want in it and tie it with ribbons and make it all pretty and put your own little like tea string on it, whatever. And then you make dunking it. So that is an easy way if you don't have like an actual tea strainer or something. That's one way you can brew your loose leaf tea. Or if you have a Keurig and you have the reusable Keurig cups like this, you can just put some in here, dunk it in your cup 4 to 5 minutes, brew it that way. Works just fine. I wouldn't, unless you like really strong tea, you only need to fill this about half full because this is, a little bit stronger. But depending on how strong you want, half full to full will make a nice cup of tea. And again, you just stick it in your cup 4 to 5 minutes, take it out when you're done. Or, of course, there are the traditional, actually, I don't know that I have a traditional one anymore. I don't have a traditional tea strainer. I do have this skull. He is
tea ball.
Yep, but he's a skull. He keeps turning
Tea
around.
skull.
Yeah. And so, he pops up when you fill him and you can brew it. Or we have the dinosaur. Same thing. I think I got rid of all my traditional like silver ones because after a while they kind of don't work anymore, and then they start to leak, and they leak tea leaves into your actual cup of tea. And
oh yeah, you don't want that.
Then we have a manatee also.
What I have is a mata cup. I think that's how you say it. You put your mata in, it's like a little cup like this.
Oh yeah.
And then the spoon is in there, but the spoon's like a filter, so you could put the loose leaves in there.
I've heard of those. I've seen them. I've never tried them. But yeah, I just wanted to give folks a heads up that because our tea is loose leaf,
right?
If you didn't know how to brew it before, now you do. And brew time about 4 minutes, 5 minutes, depending on how strong you like it. 4 minutes is generally what's recommended for like just a regular strength cup of tea. Now in our tea, it's a blend of black tea and Rubio's tea. So there's only a little bit of caffeine in this one.
Yeah, we planned it for tonight, and we didn't want people staying up all night because they drink our tea with us.
I mean, for some people that's fine, but for some of us, probably not such a good idea.
No.
So if you order the tea, just know it's loose leaf, but it's so tasty, so tasty. I'm going to be sad when I run out of this, and I'm going to have to get more from you because I really like this one.
Cool. I'm glad. So the first time I ever did anything that I did have help. My daughter Angela of Heart and Horn did help me brew that, but yeah, it was fun. It was like, ooh, like I said, making our potion.
Yeah. So that's our tea. So the other part, and so we have, that's a little bit separate. So if you order that, we're going to have, like we said, the little tins in our Etsy shop. But you can also, if you want to order the bigger packages, that is an option. And I have to make sure I'm doing this right. Sorry, guys. Bear with me just a second here.
This is the first time we've done this live and going back and forth.
There we go. So now you should be able to see the tea in the tea shop.
Can you share the screen?
Sorry, I'm getting tea link. Oh, shops. There we go. Hang on. I had to click one other thing. See? This is the test when going live.
Here. No.
I'm getting technical help.
Technical help.
Appreciate it.
Let's come back over here.
And click that. Oh, I didn't unclick that. There we go. Now we can see it. Thank you. I knew there was something I was forgetting to do. So here's the tea in the shop.
Yeah, you want to scroll on the website on the left.
And as you can see, you can get the sample tins there as well. Or there's the 3-ounce pouch or the 5-ounce tin.
I'm not seeing it.
Should
You have disabled screen sharing. There you go.
there. Are you seeing it now?
Yeah, it's on the YouTube. Yep.
Shouldn't see it.
Yeah. You're seeing it on the YouTube channel.
There's a delay. I don't know if you've noticed. There's a delay between the Zoom and
Yes,
YouTube.
there is a little bit of a delay when we do this. So now there we go. So yes, if you go to this, and we have this particular link is actually on our website, the very top of our homepage when you click on it, and so you can order these teas right now. But if you want to get more than just the sample tin, if you wanted to get these bigger sizes, the 3-ounce or the 5-ounce, you could totally do that. They all do come with our logo on the front, but it's all the same tea. Like we said, eventually we plan to add some additional flavors. We're just trying to better learn how to put all of this together so it's all in one place. Now,
we have now 5 people watching. So 3 of us, 2 of us, and then Dave. So
wonderful.
yeah.
If you are interested in additional merch, so I just switched it over. Our merch shop for our other merch that's not our tea right now is on Etsy. And the name of the shop is OE Cemetery, so Ordinary Extraordinary Cemetery, but I didn't want to make that the full name because there are times on the marketing end of our podcast where I've regretted giving us such a long name because it's a lot to type in. Our email is long, all of it's long. So for the Etsy shop, we shortened it up. We're the OE Cemetery, but we do have available right now. It's ready to go. You can order it anytime. There's stickers that are great for like your laptop, or you can put them on your water bottles. I know a lot of people like to do water bottle stuff. We have t-shirts, we have hoodies, we have the extra large like tumblers. We also have the tote bags and regular coffee mugs right now. And we'll add some additional things as we go along, but we thought this was a good starting point with our merch. So between the tea and this. So we're super excited to have it. And the t-shirts, I love because I'll click, and the hoodies, the t-shirts and the hoodies both. When we look on them, hopefully this will let us see it. Show me the back. Well, oh, I'm clicking on the wrong side. There we go. So there's the back of the t-shirts. The back of the hoodies are the same thing. But they do have our opening line that we say for every episode, where every death had a life and every life had a story. So you'll have that on the back of your t-shirt or your hoodie if you choose to order those. And then the front is our logo, of course, and it says the Ordinary Extraordinary Cemetery podcast. So we've had plenty of listeners who have wanted to do that. We would like to give away some of this tonight. And we'll do that here in a little while. We'll get a little more into it tonight, but hopefully we can give away a couple of t-shirts to you guys tonight. And so that we can send those to you. And the fun thing is about all of these, and it says it in our shop, but it's, if you go in and you order the shirt or you order the hoodie or the mugs or whatever you choose to order, it will get printed and sent directly to you. So all of that information goes directly to the shop and it'll come to you not long after you order. So
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly those can be fulfilled.
Your Zoom link isn't anywhere. If you want to share it, you can give it. You have your phone.
Sorry, technical difficulties again.
Oh, is it me?
No,
I'm
it's not you. It's me. So that's where we are with all of that. So those are our shops. I'll bring those back up in a little while. So yes, we have the clothes, we have the mugs, we have the tea, and we will be super excited. If you do happen to purchase something from us, with shirts or mugs or stickers or whatever, we would love if you would send us a picture. Or if you want to post it like online and tag us in your social media. So you can tag us in Instagram or Facebook. Or you can put it on X, formerly Twitter, in case, I've said it many times. I'm not always as great as I should be about keeping up with our X account because I feel like that requires you to be online a whole heck of a lot more than I want to be. But yes, so we are glad to have you joining us today. Thank you to those of you who are watching. Again, if you have any questions or if you want to know something, we wanted to kind of make this a Q&A a little bit, so you can ask us questions either about ourselves or if you have cemetery related questions. That would be fine too. So it's all good. And you can, if you're on YouTube, you can chat them in the chat. If you'd like to join us on Zoom, we just added the Zoom link in the chat as well. So, but as a reminder, if you weren't here when we started, if you do join us on the Zoom part of this, you will be on camera with us. So if you're not comfortable with that, which we totally get, it took Diane a long time to be comfortable with that.
Oh yeah, when we first started, it was like, nope, I'm not going to be on screen. No, then it was what, 2 years? It was like, we need to do this on YouTube.
Yeah, you were pushing it harder than I was initially for the YouTube thing, which I still think is kind of hilarious to me.
It is, but
because I had promised. Oh, Jean, Allison, Diane would like to know where you got your background.
I created it in Canva. I hate to say it's a Canva AI.
I have had some fun experimenting with Canva AI for stuff like that. I love yours. The one thing you have to be careful about if you're doing humans, the fingers are always really bizarre. I don't know if you've ever done anything with humans.
Yes.
And sometimes the faces are weird too.
Yeah, and I have to just do from about the waist up.
Yes.
They don't look like aliens.
Because they do.
And the cat on the table's too long, but
I don't know. I like him kind of extra long.
He's an extra long kitty.
I feel like he looks good that way. And some, when cats stretch out, they look really long. He's fine.
That's true. No, it's sort of fun with Canva. Then you could just sort of make your own little worlds. And this is about the fourth or fifth one I did.
I love it. Yeah. I used Canva to help design some of the stuff that we reused when we were promoting Beyond the Grave this year. Some of our Frankenstein images, those were all designed using that Canva AI to get the Frankenstein look that I wanted to go for, because I was trying not to do the Universal Pictures Frankenstein.
Right,
I wanted
exactly.
something a little more close to what is designed in the book. So I had a lot of fun using it for that. But I did notice in some of those things with fingers or sometimes facial features get weird. So AI has a long way to go before they figure out how to look more human.
Because if anybody saw my real background without the virtual one, it'd be scary. It's not near as cute as Jenny. So I get to have the virtual
Well, and
someday.
for those who have watched us regularly on YouTube for the last almost a year, it'll be a year, I think in February is when we started putting the
Really?
episodes up on YouTube. I
Oh,
feel
seems
like it's
longer than that.
February. I might be wrong. But if you've watched us normally on YouTube, I'm not in this room. So this is the room in our house I call the parlor
Oh,
because I am weird like that and I decided my house was going to have a parlor. But
yeah.
normally when we record, I'm using a different computer and I actually am sitting in our dining room. But by using our desktop tonight, it gives me an extra screen to be able to monitor all the technical stuff that's going on with this. So that's why I'm sitting here. But also, although my camera kind of moved, I think, a little bit, but I wanted to also show off behind me the piano where I have a large majority of my cemetery books displayed. Oh, yeah, see the camera's, it's wiggling back a little bit. I have, not, that's not all of my cemetery books. I have a whole lot more. But these are the ones that have the really nice, pretty covers. So displaying them as a
That's why
Halloween
they get up.
decoration.
They're
Yeah.
pretty.
They're the pretty ones. The other ones they're over on the other side of the room, but these had like the fun covers or I do have my copy of 222 Cemeteries to See Before You Die, which was Lauren Rhodes's newest
Yep.
publication. And what's my other new? Oh, Pleasure Grounds of Death, that we had Joy Jaguar on 2 months ago now. I think it's been about 2 months when that one came out. And so that one's
That's
over there
excellent.
because that one had such a beautiful cover. So, yeah, all the ones that have really fun, gorgeous images of cemeteries got put out for display with the rest of the Halloween decorations. Jean is from the Rochester, New York area.
Oh,
Wonderful.
how lovely. My son was just up there. He called me Tuesday, day before surgery, and he was flying into Rochester to go to New York. Oh, you have some amazing cemeteries up there.
Ugh. And especially
With
this time of year when you guys get all your leaves changing and everything.
yeah,
I bet it's gorgeous. Yeah, we have to, one of these days, Diane and I are going to make it there together
together.
to
Yes.
go to the cemeteries in New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, all up and down New England. In the South, there's a bunch of them in the South we both want to see.
Yep.
Every time we have a guest who talks about their, cemetery, wherever it is, because we've had them all over the place, it's like, oh, there's another one to add to the bucket list and another one to add to the bucket list. So hopefully one of these days we'll be doing these lives like this from some of those cemeteries. Hello from New Hampshire. Hi, Cheryl. How are you? Nice of you to join us. Happy Halloween.
Yes, happy Halloween. Another beautiful part of the country with so much rich history.
Oh, totally. New Hampshire has been on the bucket list of things or places to visit, and we've talked about it, and then we never do it. Every time we've been back east.
Well, that's one thing that I've noticed when I don't travel. So this last year, I've traveled quite a bit because of the kids, but you don't realize how close everything is out there. Where we live in Colorado, it takes hours to get across the state. And in like back east, you can go through 3 states in an hour, maybe 2 hours.
I know it's when we've done it a few times, like we've gone from like Massachusetts to Rhode Island or Connecticut, whatever. And
Yeah.
we're like, oh, we can do these 3 things. Actually, back in 2019, when we were there, we did that. I think we went from Salem we went to Rhode Island, and I'm trying to think where we went earlier in the day. The evening was in Providence, and I can't remember where we went first. But it was one of those things when we were planning it out that we were just like, oh, we can do all of that in one day. Yeah, New York's a little bigger, but but those other ones, we were able to do a hop, skip, and a jump. But although it didn't take that long to go between Sleepy Hollow and Massachusetts, like it was just a few hours drive there. And then we went from Sleepy Hollow to Plymouth the next day. So
Just the thought of it.
and depending on this will be always be one of my favorite parts of going back east, taking any of the drives that kind of run along the ocean, especially in the fall, because you have the leaves here, and then if you look this way, you have the ocean there. I love that. It just makes it so much fun. I know we have our mountains and they're beautiful and I love them too, but it's just different.
It is different. It is different.
Hi, Lori. Welcome. It's nice to see you in the chat. And it's Lori's first live ever. So we're glad to see you. We're glad you joined us. Lori's been following us for quite some time on our Facebook page. Oh, hi, Ken. Oh, don't worry about running late. It's only 6:30. You still have time. We figured
So
going
where
live.
is Rollinsville? Where is Rollinsville? Sorry, Jenny.
It's up near Central City.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Not too far from Central City.
Yeah,
Like if that
right
helps.
next to the woods.
Yes. Yes.
Did
Ken.
you get any snow?
Oh yeah, you guys probably got a little more up there, I would think. Definitely probably got colder up there too than it gets down here. Like I said, I wasn't complaining about the 40-degree temperatures yesterday. I really wasn't. I might be complaining about them in a couple of months when they become an everyday occurrence, but
Yeah, exactly.
I've been begging for it to be a lot cooler in
Well,
October.
someone had mentioned that we actually had a very long fall this year. And if you think about it, we really did. It lasted till the end of October, where it was
I know.
brilliant. And oh my God, the trees at Evergreen. I don't know if you've been seeing, I think you have Jeffrey's pictures.
Yes.
And that's the cemetery that I work at in Colorado Springs. It has been spectacular.
I know. I was a little jealous because I'm like, this is where Diane's at every day. Every time I see him post new pictures, I'm like, Diane's there every day, driving under all those trees, walking around under all those trees. And some of the monuments that Evergreen has, especially like the Angel and a couple of the other ones, just with those trees as their backdrop, it's just breathtaking.
It is. It was a good year for trees and color, at least in the cemetery.
That's nice for your trick-or-treaters, Cheryl, because then they're not out there freezing, which is nice. Cold, but very little snow, said Skin. Oh, that's good. But yeah, the snow will come. It will come. Although I think I read in the Farmer's Almanac that it was going to be a little more mild for us this year. And
That's okay.
that's okay too.
You don't need extremes on either end.
Right? Yeah, no coats over the costumes. Yes, I remember when my kids that's always the thing here in Colorado too. Like, are they going to need a coat or can they get away without a coat? Some years we have the snow and they're definitely wearing their coats. But this year we had some early trick-or-treaters while it was still daylight because they were the littles.
Yeah.
But they didn't have to wear their coats today because it warmed up today. So
That's cool. I think I can remember when my kids were little and we trick-or-treated. Half a handful. That sounds so weird. Half a handful. Half a handful of times that they did not have to have coats on.
yes, which is nice for them because they're so excited to wear their costumes. It's either that or you have to design their costume to be worn over their coats.
Yeah.
I mean, we did that several years when my kids were little, or, how many layers can you put on underneath the costume so that the costume's still on top?
Yeah. So you look like.
Yes. But, and I'm sure our trick-or-treaters will ramp up here in a little bit. Since we started at 6, that's dinner time, and considering it's technically a school night, I'm sure most families are just getting into the thick of it here in Colorado.
Here, the merchants, especially in Colorado City and Manitou Springs, the merchants will do trick-or-treating. But my daughter, who lives in Manitou, ran over my hat that I couldn't wear because it doesn't show in the thing. that there wasn't even kids out and it was already after 4, which they usually try to do it right after school's out. So I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on with that.
Usually here, I mean, people wait until dark mostly, except for, like I said, we had a couple of families that they were all trick-or-treating together, but those were definitely preschool age.
Oh yeah, they don't
And
need to be
younger.
dark.
They were little, but they were very cute, and we had a couple of princesses, and I know there was a Spider-Man, and I don't remember what else we had, but I know we'll get more a little bit later. So
Oh, that's fun.
yeah, it's one of the best things about living where we live now, because there's still enough family, or In our old home, we used to actually get a lot of trick-or-treaters when we first moved there because we had a lot of young families. But as the kids all grew up, the trick-or-treaters became less and less. So,
Yeah, I don't think we've ever had trick-or-treaters.
oh.
Yeah, which, yeah, I miss that.
See, I like having the trick-or-treaters. I just never liked going trick-or-treating. Even as a kid,
Yeah.
I wasn't big into trick-or-treating.
I was just thinking, we are just talking about Evergreen. Man, we need to do that. We need to go.
Trick
We
or
need to
treating at
have.
Evergreen, that would be fun. I would be up for that. We could totally do that.
That would be a fun event, I think. Do it in the daytime so people could enjoy the
Right, and they
cemeteries
could
as
see
well.
the
Spooky.
cemetery and not you don't have to worry about them like tripping over anything on the paths
Yeah.
or anything. But yeah, I think that would be fun. So let's go back. We'll take a minute since we've had some new faces
Yeah.
join us, and we were talking about what are your opinions on having Halloween on a Saturday so that it doesn't interfere with school the next day. I'm of two minds. I love the idea so that, families can do their event and go out and then they get to sleep in on Sunday. But also, I really like celebrating on the day. But I know there are places that do it that way. Or they have a designated day. I think where my sister-in-law lives in Wisconsin, they do it like the Saturday before every year.
Huh, that's interesting 'cause I know there's events here that we have, like the coffin races and stuff. That's always the weekend before. And I know when Halloween, of course, has fallen on a Sunday, they may do all the Halloween stuff the Saturday before, because it fell on
should-
a Sunday.
We should probably tell our listeners what the coffin races are for those
Oh,
that
so
aren't in
manatees-
color. I'm sure Lori and Ken might know about them, but
Yeah.
for some of our listeners who aren't here, they might be
So,
wondering
and-
what a coffin race is.
So in the 1880s, I think it was, there was a young lady who died of tuberculosis, which so many people came out here for.
Yep.
And she wanted to be buried on top of this mountain. Well, unfortunately, poor Emma, I almost forgot her name.
Yes, Emma.
Poor Emma washed out. And then from then on, because Manitou likes to be weird, which is cool, they've had coffin races. I mean, the coffin races have been going on
Forever.
for 30 years, yeah, because and people build their little coffins, and they have teams. They have like I think the high school lacrosse team won this year, but it's just a lot of fun watching people crash and burn on the road, and Manitou turns into like carnival for Halloween.
I love it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I've never been to the coffin races. Actually, I was invited to go this year, and I had to say no because it was the same day as the library event, because it was last Saturday. And I had the library event that I was part of, and so I knew my director would strangle me if I didn't show up on time to her house to help with
Oh, it has
all the
gotten
students
so
there.
big that we haven't. Yeah, it has gotten so big that we haven't gone in probably 10 years because it's just too big, and Manitou is not very big.
No, it's a
outgrown.
tiny little town.
Yeah, it's a tiny. Yeah,
But it's such a cute little town. But yes, those are the coffin. We should maybe do an episode more related to Emma and everything that happened with her at some point, and then we can share some photos from the coffin races.
oh, that would be fun. Emma and her sister, who was a spiritualist, and
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
and the house that they lived in, Redstone Castle. That the house itself has quite a story. So, in fact,
think-
that's where Manitou's first cemetery was at.
Yeah, before what is it now? Crystal Valley.
Crystal Valley,
Valley, yes. Which is where Emma is now.
Right.
After she washed out, she was reburied there, and I have visited Emma's gravesite. I just haven't gone to the house or anything. But
Oh, we should do that. A
Ken
whole
said they did
episode
their
on that.
Halloween tea last Sunday. I hope it was fun. So Ken and Ken and his wife throw lovely, lovely tea parties. I was fortunate enough to get to have tea with them last month, and it was wonderful.
Oh, how fun.
We got all dressed up in our Victorian garb and served high tea, and it was delicious and so much fun and totally worth going up to. And it was perfect timing because up where Ken is at in Rollinsville, the leaves were just starting to really change, and they were like, I bet the following week was more of their full glory up there. And for our listeners here, we have a lot of aspen trees in our mountains, so they get really gold. And when they're all gold together, it's just breathtaking.
Yeah. Hello, 18 Muses. Hello from the coast of Maine.
Oh, love it. Welcome, welcome. So with all these new faces, I'm going to pull up our merch stuff. So if you missed us at the beginning, we were chatting. One of the reasons we wanted to do a live event tonight, besides it being Halloween, is because we finally got all of our merch stuff figured out and put together. It's taken us some time to get it all launched, but now we have the tea, which of course we've talked about a couple times, and you can see I've got it brewed here in my cup. And then we also now have t-shirts and mugs and all kinds of other fun stuff. So I'll pull that back up so we can
Plus, we
see
just want
that
to hang out with you all on Halloween.
and say hi. Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was you, Miss Jody.
So, oh look, we're starting with our merch shop through Etsy. So, oh, I gotta remember to do it this way. Sorry, I'm going between two screens and then I forget. But so if we go, nope, close that. Let's go back. So this is our t-shirt, which is available through Etsy. It has our logo on the front, and then on the back it has the phrase we start our tagline, thank you, that we start every episode with, where every death had a life and every life had a story. And the t-shirts and the hoodies, which are also available, are both unisex. So anybody can have them. And they should fit, and they come in a variety of sizes. I think our t-shirts go up to 5X, extra small to 5X, and I think the hoodies go extra small to 3X. Now I got to find our shop again.
I like our t-shirts. It's the same ones we got the first ones, right? I like the quality of the t-shirts.
Yes, and they're good, sturdy, like heavy. They wash well. And I don't know, I've washed mine several times, and like the logo hasn't started to fade or anything on it. So
yeah, I'm very pleased with the quality of those.
Yes, I like the shirts. So we also have the t-shirt, or if you'd prefer the hoodie style, if you want something a little warmer. And again, the hoodie has the tagline on the back. We also have stickers if you want stickers for like your laptop or your water bottles, whatever. We have the stickers available. We have these travel mugs, the big tumblers that can hold hot or cold beverages.
Is that like a Yeti where the hot was
yeah,
hot?
You know,
cool. I might have to get one of those.
Sort of the generic version of the Yeti, but
okay.
It's supposed to be, it had good reviews. So I haven't ordered one of those yet to try, but I'm assuming it's going to work real well. And then we have a tote bag if you want a reusable tote bag. And I don't know necessarily what other states have, but like here in Colorado, we don't get plastic bags and stuff when we shop anymore. So we have to remember to take our bags with us, but why not have this one? And then we also have the coffee mugs available, or tea mugs, depending on your preferred choice of beverage, or hot chocolate or hot cider, all the hot beverages. So, and each one, so it contains our logo that says the Ordinary Extraordinary Cemetery, and they all say podcast beneath. So, and we would love, if you do choose to purchase any of this and have it, we would love it if you would send us a picture or tag us in social media so that we can see you guys showing it off for us, because we're pretty excited to be able to offer it to any listeners.
It took us 4 years.
I know. Well, it was one of those things. I still have to, like I said at the beginning, I have to get used to learning how to sell stuff online. I buy stuff online all the time, but I've never tried to sell stuff online before. So this is a whole new ball game for me. And I'm sure there will be changes within the shop and stuff as I get to know how to use Etsy better and all of that. But I figured I at least had the basics figured out for this. So that is the Etsy shop, and we'll have links to this in all our show notes and on our website and everything, so you'll be able to find the links easily enough. But the shop, in case you're looking, it's the OE Cemetery. That's the name of our shop. So I didn't want to make people type out the whole Ordinary Extraordinary Cemetery. So it's OE Cemetery to make that easy. And
yeah,
then,
Jody, that you would like that the hoodie would be cool. That would be to walk along the beach in Maine with our hoodie.
And anytime you visit a cemetery, you know, if you're going to go visit somebody in the cemetery, it's perfect. And then, of course, we also have our tea, which we will be adding our sample tins to the Etsy shop. We just haven't done that yet. But we will get these up on the Etsy shop. So you can get these through our Etsy shop. But if you wanted to get a little bit bigger packaging. We also have a 3-ounce or a 5-ounce tin available, and that's here. So this is what it looks like if you get, depending on which size you want. But it's the blend of tea that Diane and her daughter Angela concocted for us, and it's so tasty. It's got hints of apple, cocoa, cinnamon, and it's a little bit of Rubios and black tea combined. So there's a little bit of, it's only a small amount. Yeah, so a little bit of caffeine, but not too much. Although if you're sensitive to caffeine, that might still be too much for you. But this is what the tins actually look like. That we have the sample tins. And again, it says on here, if you look, it says it makes 5 cups. And it really does make about 5 cups. I made a whole pot with it tonight. And then my son and I both had individual cups. And then I still probably have about another cup's worth of tea left in here to brew.
Does it meet Charlie's approval?
It did meet Charlie's approval. He enjoyed it. He normally is he's a tea drinker, but normally it's the, Lipton tea bags. He's quite happy with his tea that way, which is fine too. Doesn't matter to me. But yeah, the hoodies I don't have the hoodie yet, but I will be ordering myself one because especially this time of year, once it starts to get cold, it'll be so nice to have a hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked this one because this one has pockets, the pockets in the front. So
those are, I know who invented those, but
being able to tuck your phone in there or whatever that's with you, and then also to keep your hands warm. It's always such a nice thing to have. So that's why I liked that particular style. I'm assuming the quality is going to be just as good as the t-shirts. Like Diana and I said, we have the t-shirts. We love the t-shirts. So since it's all the same company, I'm assuming the quality of the hoodies is going to be very good as well.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with.
The Etsy name is OE Cemetery, and I'll type it here in the comments for you guys.
Like ordinary, extraordinary, Oops. Right?
Yeah.
OEC.
So there's the name OE Cemetery. So, and I capitalized the OEC to make it easier to see. But that is the name of the shop. And the tea is not in there yet. So if you want the tea, you have to go to the other link that's on our website. And I'll put it all together eventually. And there is a way I can link all of this together. I just haven't quite gotten that part figured out yet. So that's why we have 2 separate links currently. But we will be adding the tins to our shop. So you'll be able to get those at least. The small tins.
Those are in stock. As you can see, I'm looking around somewhere in here.
They're hiding behind your lovely Victorian style fireplace.
Yes, they are.
You have a secret panel back there.
Cozy. Yeah. There is right behind it was the fireplace. It moves and there's a secret little tea cupboard back there.
So if you are currently watching us on YouTube and you haven't joined in the chat, if you are interested in perhaps winning one of our t-shirts, put a little something, say hi in the chat for me. We're going to give away 2 t-shirts tonight, and I will give it away to anybody that's in the chat. So if you haven't put your name in the chat and you're just following along but you want a chance to win the t-shirt, just make sure you add your name to the chat. Just say hi to us, and then I can put your name in our little drawing. And in about 2 minutes, we'll do our first drawing for the first giveaway, and then we'll do a second one.
It does its own, right? YouTube does the...
I'm actually going to be putting them in a basket and drawing it, and I'll show you guys.
Oh, okay. You could do it the old-fashioned way.
I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way because I know there is a way to do it, like YouTube auto-generate it.
Yeah.
I didn't go to explore. I didn't explore all of that with everything else. I was like, we're just going to do it the old-fashioned way. So, and actually, while I get this ready, Diane, if you want to chat a little bit about how everything went with Beyond the Grave, and sort of, I know we talked about it last week, but then we just went right into the episode for the storytelling. So if you just want to let them know a little bit more about like what that funding does and all that fun stuff, and I'll get this ready.
Well, and we talked about this last week or whenever it was. That was, I think, our most successful and easiest event. It was like it was so easy that Jenny and I were worried something was gonna we were forgetting something, but the weather was perfect. I mean, we didn't have to wear coats. It was incredible, and it was well received. Everything went off without a hitch. And we're really looking forward to next year, because next year we're going to do Phantom of the Opera. And what is so special about Phantom of the Opera, because Lon Chaney did the first one,
Right.
sort of starred as the
He was the first one on screen.
on screen. And
Yeah.
then, so what's so special about that, Lon Chaney is from Colorado Springs. His parents were deaf. They found it, actually, his mother's family found it, the Colorado School for the Deaf and Blind. So we're going to work in interpreters and that. So it's going to be so cool, and it's going to have a really local touch this year or next year. So we're really excited about that.
Oh, I don't know why it never even dawned on me before that we should have like the deaf interpreters, because we could have done it all these other years and I never thought about it until we started talking about doing the show. And then I was like, well, that makes total sense to have them for everything. But I think it'll be really, really special involving them next year, especially since the Cheney family was so integral to that school there in Colorado
And
Springs.
his mom is buried here, and a brother and sister. He is not. Lon is in California, probably Hollywood. And then I believe his dad is out there with him as well.
I don't. I want to say it's not Hollywood, because I think I remember looking it up after.
But it's in California,
It
though,
is in
right?
California, yeah.
Yeah.
He's not here. It'd be cool if he was. But we'll take his mom. It's fine.
Yes, we'll take his mom.
We'll take Emma. It's fine. She did a lot of things for Colorado Springs, so it's great to have her there as part of that. And we are happy with that. Hello, Alberta. Welcome from Canada. We love.
Oh,
We haven't covered very many Canadian cemeteries, actually. I was just thinking about that when I saw her chime in. I was like, oh, we have talked a little bit about them, but it's been a while. Yeah, I think we might have to revisit some Canadian cemeteries. No, I didn't get a chance to go to any when I was up there because we were only there for a short time. So there was no time to go actually physically visit one, but maybe in the future. I see pictures of them. There's Canadian cemeteries, which we follow on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call that format. And I see their stuff all the time. But yeah, we have yet to go to Canada and see any of their actual cemeteries. It would be so fantastic. For the short time that we were in Canada 2 summers ago now, I was really enjoying it. And there's so much more to Canada that I'd like to see.
it's pretty big.
But
And it's so diverse, from
Yes.
the cities to the up, not higher, because actually it's surprising. I have a friend who lives in Manning, Alberta, and they're 100 miles south of the Yukon Territory, but their elevation is higher. No, their elevation is lower than we are. Because she came out to visit, so I was telling her, yeah, I was like, that is so, to me, that was so weird, because you would think the higher you go up.
yeah. Well, and they have the parts of the Rocky Mountains there too. We were in, what part of Canada were we in?
Canada, we were in Vancouver.
Vancouver, thank you. I was like, in my head, I could picture where we were at, and I couldn't think of the name of the city.
Get the word out.
We were in Vancouver. We were taking a cruise into Alaska, but we got on our cruise ship in Vancouver. So we were only there for technically probably less than a day by the time they put us on the actual cruise ship. So
Yeah, that wouldn't take much. I mean, you wouldn't have much time to go cemetery skipping.
no, we did go out and explore. Our hotel was right next to where the ship was docked, and so that night after we got there, we did go out and explore sort of that downtown area. And I did find a lovely statue down there commemorating World War I soldiers that I was able to photograph. and they had a really cool steam-powered clock that we were all fascinated by.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes, and there was a delicious little cheesecake shop that was right there that we stopped and got the cheesecake from, which was super tasty. But that was about all that we saw of Vancouver, plus our drive through the city by our cab driver, who was a little terrifying, to be honest. He was, that was a, we got to our hotel safe and sound, but that was a kind of a scary cab ride. Okay, I have everybody's names that has contributed in chat in our basket here. That's what you were hearing me tear up the paper a minute ago. I apologize. It was probably a little loud
I didn't
on
even
the
hear it, so you're good.
thing. But, so our first winner, we're giving away 2 of our Ordinary Extraordinary Cemetery t-shirts to them. And so if I call your name, I will have you send me some of your information privately so that we can
That
make
was
sure
my
you get your
lame
shirts.
drum roll. I don't know if you could even hear it.
You know, for somebody who said they were going to be on pain meds because they just had surgery, you've been pretty with it. I was waiting for, like, you know, the weird, who knows what we were going to hear.
Yeah,
thing.
I slept all day and crawled out about 4:15 to get humanized.
I love that. Okay, so our first winner is Jean Allison. So, Jean, congratulations. That's our first one. So, happy Halloween. This is your treat.
Yeah.
Is your t-shirt. Okay, and we'll do our second winner. And our next winner is Ken Reed. So, and actually, Ken, I have your address. So, I'm good there.
Awesome.
So, congratulations, both Jean and Ken. And we will make sure you guys get your t-shirts, and you can, I'll message you privately here in a bit, and then you can get sizes and stuff. We'll get it all figured out. So you guys can have your very own Ordinary Extraordinary Cemetery t-shirts. And then you can, if you want to take a picture of them, we would love to see you. It'll be great. So, yes. This was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did this. I mean, we haven't really talked cemeteries too much.
Yeah, me too.
But I wasn't going to make Diane work too hard tonight.
Like I said, you just never know. Or I'm at my best on drugs. Who knows? Well, we got 6 minutes, so
We do still have 6 minutes.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to ask us anything,
Yeah, you can ask us questions, cemetery related or not. This was sort of our, like, get a chance to chat with you guys live. When we do our regular episodes, it's just us or us and our guests, which we've had fabulous guests. Actually, that's something I was going to ask. So while we've got some of our listeners here, what have been some of your favorite episodes? The ones that you've listened to, or like, who are your favorite guests? Or, oh, go ahead.
I was say, and would you like us to do this again? Have a live chat?
Yeah. Because we would be more, now that we've kind of figured out the ins and outs of it, and the more we do it, the better I'll get at the technical side.
I think you did very well for the first time.
Well, I have to give a huge amount of credit to my husband, Dave. He got everything set up for me while I was at work. So I came home and this computer area was all set up. The cameras were all set up. And then about an hour before we went live, he and I sat down and I was like, let's re-angle the camera. Let's add this in. Show me how to do this. Yes, for live chats.
Awesome.
That would be great. Yeah. So without Dave, I would be completely lost. But I say that a lot too. It's Dave that does all our editing for the actual podcast. He's the one who makes sure we sound good every week. And he researches when things go a little wonky. So he helps us figure out what the problem is there and makes us back on track. So,
well, cool.
Oh, good.
So
We'll definitely plan to do this again.
We can maybe go in deeper on the episodes we had. Oh, this is cool.
Oh, yeah. No, this has been great. And it's so funny because, I did wear my little witchy outfit tonight. This is what I wore to work today. But
it's cute.
I was supposed to be a pirate today. I was supposed to be Smee from Peter Pan. But Tui says yes. Great. Tui's going to be on the show again coming up soon next month. So we're excited to have Tui. If listeners remember, Tui was on earlier this summer, and then she was getting ready right before she was on. or right after she was on with us, she went to Italy and was giving some really cool tours of cemeteries and cemetery talks all over Italy. So I'm excited to have Tui back to tell us about her Italian cemetery adventures, because I was following her the whole time she was doing it, and oh, I was so excited for her. Italy is gorgeous anyway, but when we got into fight, who put up the memorial for the young woman? Oh, I know. That was really interesting. The one that was in Texas. I still have a note in my phone for the one article that he was looking for that gave more details too. So if we ever come across that article, I keep waiting on it. But that was a fun episode. I did enjoy having how they fought over who had the better tombstone when you looked at and then when we saw the actual pictures of what the two memorials looked like, how they weren't that different in the end.
And then Ryan, right? Ryan is
yes.
We need to have, he was one of our first.
We do. Yeah, he was our very first guest. The first time we had him on, we weren't talking so much about Louisiana, that he talked about the cemetery in Fort Smith, Arkansas, in the first episode with him. But then we did have him back on to talk about what do they call it? However it is that they help.
Task force. It's like a task force.
Their cemetery task force. That's what it is. That's the name of it. Which, as far as I know, and that particular episode was at least 3 years ago. And as far as I know, Louisiana is still the only state that has an official cemetery task force.
And MJ. MJ is, I love MJ. She is such an inspiration, and yeah, I enjoyed that one as well too.
She is definitely planning to come back so she can talk about Major General Hancock next time, because that's her other person that she has really specialized in studying and learning his story. So we did tell her we'd have her come back to talk about him. So it will be fabulous. We're glad you guys are enjoying so many of these episodes. We say it all the time. We learn so much doing this. I don't think I pictured in my head when we started this podcast in general that it would go where it's gone already. And the amount of stories we've learned, the amount of just general information we've learned about cemeteries and how they operate has been absolutely amazing. So,
and the people we've had a chance to meet, that's the cool thing.
Yes. Yeah, we've met through our guests, through our listeners. For the listeners that are a little more local, when they come and talk to us at events and stuff, it's just awesome. My favorite is still when somebody told you they recognized your voice last year at our Beyond the Grave.
Yeah, it was like I was downstairs in the crypt of the chapel at the cemetery, and I was talking to somebody else, and they go, "I recognize your voice. You do the podcast," and I'm like, "Oh my God!" But I mean, and then getting to meet, like when we went back to Salem, and I got to meet Rachel from Epic Preservation, then, and you've met so many up, Central City, and that it's a blast.
Yeah, it's definitely made life way more interesting since we started doing this. And it's also fun to have a general conversation, especially when I'm at work. So I work in a physical therapy clinic, but when I'm there and somebody will ask me a cemetery question and then somebody else overhears and they're like, "Wait, what are you talking about?" It's great. Happens a lot.
See, I don't have that problem.
Yeah, you work in the cemetery.
Yeah.
My people I see are still alive. So, and our goal is, well, I'm not a physical therapist, but my physical therapist's goals are to keep them alive right now. So,
yes.
And to live healthier lives. So it's great. But we're so glad to have everybody tonight. Thank you so much for taking time out of your Halloween to join us. Again, big thank you to my husband for helping with all the technical setup and listening. And he's been following along while answering the door for trick-or-treaters at the same time. So he's been multitasking.
Man, multitasking.
I know.
Most can't do that. So that's pretty awesome, Dave.
So I appreciate it. Thank you, hun. And we will see you guys next week when we come back with a regular episode. So thank you.
Thank you. It was really fun. We weren't sure, what to expect, how many people would show up. And it was a blast. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.